Journey with me to Gillinor, from Ashdale, a world to explore, in search of the book of 1,000 songs, as we set off from the shore.
After getting some fine pussy from Gertrude. Oh god, why did I leave that joke in? Anyway, the adventurer remembered that the last time that they were in Varrock, they got ripped off by the king. After infiltrating two of the most dangerous gangs in the city and recovering and restoring a priceless artifact relating to the founding of Varrock, they got a 25-year-old reward, which totaled less than they'd gotten paid for simply shearing some sheep. So, to rectify this, StoryScape goes straight to King Rold and demands another quest. Which of course brings us on to Priest in Peril, the first quest in the Maya Key questline. Released in 2004, it serves as an introduction to the lore of the evil lands to the east of Misthalin, known as Mauritania. We're past the halfway point of the Pathfinder era now, and thankfully, we'll be seeing fewer and fewer little nothings that add relatively little, if anything, to the story. Really getting into the good ones now. Roldy asks us to visit the Temple of Patadomus in the mountain pass of Silveria, built to guard the only crossing of the blessed River Salve. The temple had once been manned by a full military force, but over the course of the last 9.5 centuries, the threat from Mauritania was taken less and less seriously. What was once an army is now a single priest, called Drezel. And this despite two werewolves managing to cross the river in the year 164, only 5 years ago, nearly starting the war between the two countries again. But anyway, the king hasn't heard from Drezel for a few days and wants us to check on him. I would have sent one of my squires, but they wanted payment for it. Wait, what? He really is a tight prick, isn't he? Once arriving, we knock on the door and get yet another perfect illustration of how the adventurer is far more brawn than brain, because they somehow believe that this is Drezel. And after a short exchange, the impersonator asks us to kill the big dog in the nearby catacombs. It's been really bugging me, barking all the time and stuff. As you wish, one dead dog coming up. What the fuck? Why? Why did I even say that? I don't want to do that. This wasn't that bad when the model looked more like some random generic fantasy beast, but why did they change it to look like a normal doggo? What the hell, JX? Oh, I don't want to do this. No! What is that sound effect? It's just evil. The fake Drezel is very happy about the crime that we just committed and suggests we go tell the king about what we've done. You did what? Are you mentally deficient? Good question. That's it, Roll. Tear into the cunt. You get back there and do whatever is necessary to safeguard my kingdom from attack, or I will see you beheaded for high treason. Okay. I really should stop trying to voice act. Anyway, this time we enter the temple instead of simply knocking, and surprise, surprise, it's full of Zamarakian months. So I vented some of my frustration on them. You made me kill a puppy! Ooh, a key. Ooh, piece of candy. Fuck's sake. Ooh, a key. I wonder if that'll be useful. Oh shit. On the top floor we find the real Drezel locked in a cell which the key won't open, near an ominous looking coffin. He tells us the tale of the River Salve, of a time when, an age before, 7 priestly warriors, one of whom Drezel is descended from, battled their way through the evil beings swarming the mountain pass, led by a promise from Saradomin himself. For 10 days and nights they fought, 10 days and nights without food or rest. On the 11th day, when their reinforcements finally arrived, they found the evil creatures that had once terrorized their homes, trapped on the Mauritanian bank of the Salve. Saradomin's promise fulfilled, but the victory was bittersweet, as the 7 priestly warriors all lay dead, surrounded by the bodies of the hundreds they had slain. Patadomus was built in their memory, and as a protection of the blessing left by their sacrifice, their bodies interred in a crypt below the temple, with golden gifts on the tombs as marks of respect. Drezel then asks us to free him, but there's a catch. Remember that ominous-looking coffin from before? Well, it turns out there's a vampire in there. Shock horror. One of the few that has survived on this side of the Salve, and as those fiendish Zamarakians pointed out, as a descendant of one of those who trapped it, it will recognise the smell of Drezel's blood should he get too close. So next we venture into the crypt below the temple and examine each of the warriors' statues, finding that the gold key has been replaced by an iron one. Pull the old switcheroo. God, I really am in my 30s, aren't I? Who actually talks like that. Then grab some of the river water from the well in the centre. The key fits Dressel's cell and we show him the river water, speculating that it appears to have been desecrated. So the priest blesses it and we chuck it on the coffin. Back in the crypt, Dressel tells us that the Zamorakians appear to have used a potion of some form on the well that is corrupting the blessing and will eventually affect the entire river. And it's all the adventurer's fault. He's tried to create a blessing on the Mauritanian side of the crypt, but a ghoul has already noticed the weakness and managed to break in. Fortunately though, it is at the moment contained in the next room. To purify the river once more, he theorises that as rune essence by its very nature absorbs magic, maybe dumping it in the river will counteract the potion and purify it. Which honestly seems like kind of a huge gamble. I mean, it's just an ore that absorbs anima. How could an unthinking rock differentiate between the potion and the blessing and not just hoover it all up, leaving the salve just a normal river, which, you know, will ultimately have the exact same effect. But of course it's not going to work like that. So we grab some pure essence from Cedrador's never-ending supply. Oh shit, Dressel bless the stones, I stand corrected. So after all that, we still don't get a reward from Rold. I will get him to pay me one day. So does this mean I can go do some skilling in the land of the mad settled? No, because of course at no point during the quest did we actually need to enter Mauritania. So we just unlocked a region without unlocking a region. Yay. Well, the next few quests are going to give us a little bit of whiplash. I still don't understand the decision making behind this, because next we have Death Plateau, which is over here, and then after that we've got 2 more quests right here in Silveria. Then the next is back over there. But the early timeline is kind of a mess.
It is known.
So let's go meet some trolls and start the first voice-acted quest we've had in a little while. That's right, if you didn't know or forgot, this quest was one of those that was completely rewritten in early 2012, as it became part of the tutorial at the time. This all happened around the time the signature heroes were being introduced to the game, and we got one of my favourite ever RuneScape trailers, which perfectly illustrates just how much of a scrub Ozan is, doing the least and getting the last hit in to claim the kill credit. But anyway, let's go unlock Berthorpe already. In Druidic ritual, we learned of the conflict between Berthorpe and the trolls invading from the north, and restored the stone circle in the hopes of tipping the scales in favour of the humans who defend the town. But we soon learned that this apparently did jack shit, as Commander Denulf tells us.
The trolls have taken up a position on Death Plateau, and we can't move them. As you know, the trolls have been pushing us hard, and we have to do something before they get too dug in and begin sending forces down the pass.
Before asking us to find another route up the mountain to sneak past the trolls' defences for an ambush.
There's a cave beyond the defensive wall to the northwest, at the foot of the plateau, where you'll find a dwarf called Sabbat.
Unfortunately though, Sabbat is a stubborn old racist who refuses to help, until we wear him down with the adventurer's masterful debating skills, I guess.
You're really not going to move, are you? Alright, I'll help. Well, if you want up there, you've got 2 choices. The first one is you can try the airy-fairy, lacklustre shoddy way, clambering over the rocks like some cross-eyed goat, faffing around like a fool, scrambling about hand over hand, foot over foot. Nobody's meant to get around like that, man. It's demeaning. No, what you need is to break into one of the natural caves under here. That'll sort you out.
But unfortunately, he's not sure of where the most appropriate cave may be, as he wasn't able to finish his survey before the trolls arrived, so instead sends us to his wife, Frida, but not before getting in some choice digs about her and humans.
It's you lot that I blame. All you gallivanting around on the surface has turned her head.
Oh, he would go telling you that, the old duffer. He's always hated it, ever since I managed to get from Rimington to Tavaly overground faster than he went underground. He tried going overground himself next time, slipped on some snow and ended up bashing his shoulder on a rock, bless him.
Unfortunately though, she hasn't had the time to finish the survey yet and sends us to get her climbing boots respiked while we wait.
Hey, these are Frida's boots. Where did you get them?
and despite initially seeming a little suspicious about how and where we got the boots, Dunstan just instantly believes us when we tell him she gave them to us.
You've got a good sense of timing. Here's the report.
The survey shows an area in Sabbath's cave that we need to mine through, and despite refusing to help, doesn't prevent us from completely destroying a wall in his home to make way for an army to march through his home. Then we get a little parkour section through the cave, at the end of which we still end up scrambling hand over foot up a cliff in the way that Sabbath hates anyway.
Clambering over the rocks like some cross-eyed goat. Nobody's meant to get around like that, man. It's demeaning.
Will you look at that? Death Plateau. I'm sure we'll be able to ambush the trolls from up here, and best of all, those dirty stupid trolls don't know a thing about it.
Hello, I's the map. The boss, he say, you carry this map I's made and go down to fight. Then I eat the map and all the others get angry. Then the other trolls say mean things. Look, it's the stupid troll. He's so stupid, he eats the map. Then they all call me the map from then on. And now, I is lost. We's got no food, we's got no map. So, I ate everyone. They was dead when I did it. So that's okay. Some of them try and pretend to be alive still, but I is smart troll. They no fool me.
Okay.
I eat you, human!
After killing the map, we tell Denolf about the cave and watch as a cutscene plays of the ambush that we helped to orchestrate. And after all of that, we don't even get a quest complete screen. Partially to take a short break from questing, and partially to stop my run energy emptying every few minutes while doing said questing, I spent a quick half an hour on the Berthorpe agility course to get my agility to 20. Then completely forgot to do the Troll Invasion monthly that I fully intended to do for some free Herb XP because it kind of makes sense in the story to do it now. I guess I'll just leave it until the next Troll quest, unless I can find a way to work it in a session where it feels organic. But either way, we're back over to Silveria once more, for where that fateful thing happened that gave the video its title. A quest that hasn't changed in 20 years since its release, though it has had a hell of a lot of patches. A Soul's Bane. And all through my life in-game, I thought this was in the realm of many other quests in the Pathfinder era. An interesting little story with no greater connection to the lore, but it does sow the seeds of what we'll find here in the future. But I'm getting ahead of myself. And before that, real quick, when passing back through Varrock, I remembered something else I'd forgotten to do. That being the natural history quiz in the museum basement. It's here that we meet the character Orlando Smith, who asks us to check that the animal displays are showing the correct information. Nothing really important here, but it's my requirement for unlocking access to the giant mole in Falador, because it's the closest thing I could find to a quest mention to that area. It gives us a little information about some of the game's unique creatures. At the end of it, we're rewarded with 1k Hunter and Slayer XP and 28 kudos, a favour system, I guess, at the museum. Enough procrastination, there's a rift that's opened up near the Varrock dig site. Lorna, a sweet old lady we find near the rift, asks if we've seen her son. He went missing in this general area 25 years ago, and when the rift opened, her husband went down to search for him. Now he too hasn't been seen in days, so of course we offer to go look for him.
Why should I, Tolna, be trapped in such a wretched place? Oh, it's not fair! Feel my anger!
As we pass through the rift, each section will be influenced by a different part of Tolna's psyche. The first section gives us a rage level meter to fill up by using the weapons near the entrance to kill the beasts in the room, but each weapon will only work against a certain creature, and you can only carry one of them at a time, so it can take a little while going back and switching weapons or, waiting for them to respawn. And when the meter is full, the adventurer lets out a shriek and kills every creature in the room, triggering a cutscene of Tolna running away all those years ago.
It's so quiet and dark. I fear I may never escape this horrid place. Mom, Dad, help me.
Upon entering the second room, Nosferatu evolved into their final form. So when this quest is over, we'll switch to But Anyway, so they can grow up to make future quests a little bit easier. But anyway, this room has us peeking down dark holes until a Fear Reaper attempts to jump scare us, and then wander around the room again, looking in the holes until we've killed him another 4 times.
Where am I? How long have I been here? Am I still the person I once was? Oh, why am I so confused?
And this is probably the most annoying room. Find which one of the 5 confusion beasts you can actually damage, kill it, and one of the doors will disappear. And of course, do this until there's just one door left. Then we get an extremely cursed chat head of Tolna arguing with himself briefly.
What's the point? No one will ever help me. I'm not worth anything. Will anyone ever combat my hopelessness?
Well, that one was pretty on the nose, because in this penultimate of rooms, we have had to do exactly that, with each aspect needing to be killed 3 times, and once 5 had been defeated, a bridge of hope appears to transport us across the cavern. And finally, we come across Tolna confronting his father.
Why should I speak to you? Besides, I am no longer the boy you once knew. Something evil in this dungeon has warped my body and mind. You had your chance to help me. 25 years it's taken you.
He unfortunately doesn't believe that his parents searched for him, and when the adventurer interjects on their behalf, it only makes the situation worse.
Ha! If that is what you think, then you shall both die.
So this is the boss fight that I rather embarrassingly lost my hardcore status to. As you can see, I didn't have much food left, but what you can definitely also see in my inventory there is those runes in the bottom, which I specifically put there so I'd have a one-click teleport to dip if I needed to. I saw that I had 19% hit chance, I saw how much damage he was doing, and briefly completely forgot that I was hardcore, opting to just die to get out quickly and restock with better food. Fortunately, right when I ate that last piece of food, that was when I remembered, and realised that there was no hope of getting out of this alive. But we did get to meet our first Guardian of Guthix, Harold Death Esquire, who informs us that it is not yet our time and allows us to return to the land of the living. Tolna is able to attack with both ranged and melee, so it's best to stay further away, and the heads have 3000, 5000 and 5000 HP for a total of 13k, and in his second attempt, a level 25 StoryScape was able to defeat the 3 level 39 heads of Tolna with relative ease. Once defeated, Tolna reveals that he was looking for the legacy of a civilization that used to live down here. And that one little line, that was it. But it genuinely surprised me and completely reframed the story of the quest for me. I mean, if you know, but it's a fun little nod to what we'll find in this area, especially the amount of magic that was definitely present in this area. It kind of makes sense why you get this mysterious rift. Lastly, in the mountain pass for now, the adventurer will complete a quest for probably one of the most mysterious figures in Gillinor, Rag and Bone Man. Near the limestone quarry, the adventurer meets an odd old man surrounded by bones, so naturally they ask it, what's with all the bones? And after apparently being told what to say by the sack of bones on his back, how many times am I going to see fucking bones in this quest? He claims to be an archaeologist working for the museum. Apparently they asked him to create displays of 2nd and 3rd age creatures using their bones, although he's short of having a complete skeleton. So naturally the adventurer offers to help, much to the amusement of the strange creature on the odd old man's back. Okay, alright, I really should stop trying to voice act. Where do you need me to dig? Dig? Oh, you must have gotten the wrong end of the stick. I need some fresh whole bones to replace ones that have become damaged. What? Excuse me? Shh, sorry. He goes on to give us some bullshit about losing and breaking some of his collected bones, and gives us a list of 8 creatures that we'll need to slaughter for him, saying that we'll also need to boil the bones in vinegar to polish them before handing them over. The adventurer really will just do anything some randomer asks to, won't they? But I suppose they are still a Pathfinder and are willing to take any work that comes their way at the moment. I thought this bit might have been a bit more complicated with the restrictions on my account, but every creature was pretty easy to find in areas that are already unlocked, and I'm not really sure how to do this, so... Could you call this a montage? I don't know. I don't feel like it. Oh, tell a lie, there was one awkward bit. To get down into the Lumbridge Swamp Caves, we needed a light source. Neither my crafting nor fire-making level were high enough to create or light anything, and with the only candle shop lying in a town that I can't access, I had to resort to the wiki to find one. Fortunately, there is a spawn on the first floor of the sword shop in Varrock. Then I made some molten glass using the locations I learnt of during the observatory quest, and made a candle lantern to prevent the open flame igniting the swamp gases in the caves. I also picked up a spiny helmet from Jacqueline to protect from the wall beasts. I probably should have brought at least a second light source though, because I could still barely see anything down there. All the bones collected, we met up with the wine merchant in Draenor village to collect some vinegar, and returned to the odd old man to polish them on his pot boiler. I'm polishing the old man's bones for him in his sack. Don't know how I've avoided making any dirty jokes during this, but I just didn't think of any. Anyway, the old man in his sack seemed very happy with our work and tell us about the wish list of extra bones pinned to his shack, which we will eventually do, but for this I'll also need 40 Slayer and to complete a couple of other quests. But we'll meet him again later for the sequel. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much to Cathar for providing the voice of Tolna. Yeah, I just thought it'd add a bit more to that particular quest if I did it in that way. If there's anyone left, people who have been around since I first started this channel know that I did originally intend to do a full series of quests with voice acting, but that proved to be a beast that was far too hard to organise for someone like me. See you next time.